Hi, welcome back to Ferrigno Freedom Channel. I'm Dante Ferrigno, and I have been on a carnivore diet now for 4.5 years, and it has changed my life like no other thing has changed my life before when it comes to the way I eat or my health. It has just been fantastic. And I wanted to get back to you today making a steak that I really love. And one of the reasons I love it is because it's affordable right now compared to ribeye and New York strip steak, which are just off the chain in prices at the moment. And I was so happy to find at Sam's that they had picanha steak for $8.49 a pound, I believe it was, which was a whole lot better than $16.99 a pound for ribeye. And some places are higher than that. But I didn't just want to cook this in my air fryer today. I thought it would be a good time to break out the infrared grill because I looked online and I noticed nobody shows how to do this in an infrared grill. So I thought maybe we'll take a look at it together today. I'm not a chef, I'm not a cook. I've just been preparing meat for the past 4.5 years. So let's see how I do. And maybe it'll help you too. I also am going to be using beef tallow to prepare the grill grate, and I also have some leftover tallow from some burgers that I made that is loaded with salt that's going to go great down in the drip pan. We'll get all to that when we get outside to the grill though. First, let's cut this steak into 1.5 inch cuts. That'll be ready. Now some people want to trim the fat cap. Not me. I want every bit of that fat. That is the best part as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to leave all that delicious fat on there, and we're just going to cut into this. Look at the size of that fat cap. I love it. Some people don't like it that big, but I love it. All right, so that gives us 5 decent sized pieces here. So the first thing I'm going to do is get them on the skewers. Put the fat cap facing outward, trying to fold them into a C position. Try not to skewer your hand. After folding them into the shape and getting them on the skewers, now I'm going to add a little Redmond kosher salt. This last little piece is almost all fat. I don't mind that. Some people might cut that little tiny piece off that's mostly fat and throw it away, but not me. I want every bit of that fat. Very important on a carnivore diet to make sure you're getting enough fat with your meat. You don't want to be eating too much protein. Plus the fat will satiate you better, so you won't need to eat as much to be full and have the energy you need to get through each day. Now I did let this rest out here for 45 minutes, so it is at room temperature. That was another important feature that I like to mention. You know, I've mentioned in the past about not salting your steaks beforehand on the high heat temperature, but I've learned something new since then. Hard rock salt, like Redmond salt has a high melting point at 1472 degrees. And if it's done correctly, you're not going to burn it, because this should only take about 5 to 7 minutes to cook these steaks on this grill. That's not long enough to burn the salt. So that's why we're going to salt the steaks ahead of time. And now that we're salted, we're going to pat the steaks dry. And now I'm going to go get the grill ready, and then we'll bring these out and get it started. This is the first time I've used my grill this season, so I'm going to attach it and turn it on slowly so it doesn't trip the overfilled protection device. And now that that's done, I'm just waiting 7 to 10 seconds to let the propane move through the hoses. So moving the knob into the flame position. Now I'll hit the igniter. And we're going to let it go for 5 minutes and let it warm up. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of the tallow that I have ready. I have melted down in the microwave so that I can add it to the top griddle, whatever it's called, grate. This will help keep the meat from sticking. And tallow does have a higher smoke point than butter, so it's a good thing to use. Now I'm going to add some of my already salted tallow from previous use down to the pan here. Usually a couple of tablespoons should do. This is a little more than that. And we'll give Sam the rest to clean it up. Craving the perfect steak? With Schwank grills, you get mouth-watering flavor in minutes. Schwank's infrared technology cooks fast, locks in juices, and delivers unbeatable taste. Proudly handcrafted in Augusta, Georgia, Schwank grills are built to make every bite unforgettable. Schwank grills, American-made, steak perfected. Use my link in the description to order yours now, and you get a free grill cover to boot. Now, back to the video. This is going to be great for letting the steak set down inside that drip pan when I'm done, and they'll just soak up all that fat and make it even juicier and more delicious. I had to let it set a little longer than I wanted to because of the daily distractions that always happen at house, at my house anyway. And we're going to raise it up and leave it close to the top. And it's going to stay there for about 1 minute. All right, that's been about a minute. You can see it's already got a nice sear on there. Grab my tongs. Put them on the other side for a minute. I'm going to come down a notch. Seems like the steak got bigger since I put it in there. So now we're doing the other side. So I'm going to bring it back up. Yeah, because it's not touching the top. As long as it's not touching the burners up there, everything should be fine. All right, so it's been right at a minute, so I'm going to lower it down. Now I've got it on level 3 so that they continue to cook for just a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to get my temperature probe. Before I put the probe in, I've lowered it down. I'm going to flip these over one more time. And then I'm going to stick my temperature probe in. Oh, it's thundering out here too. Steaks back in. Go to my Meter Plus app. It should be very close to being done already. You got to move quickly on this grill. Setting it for Picanha to 125. Start cook. Turn on my sound. I'll take it down to level 2 so it doesn't overchar. All right, it's been a couple of minutes. I'm going to bring them out and flip them one more time. The meter is telling me that I'm under 5 minutes. Under 4 minutes, under 3 minutes. It's moving pretty quickly. Quick note on cooking with the Meter Plus, or the Meter version 2, I should say. The Meter Plus was only rated to up to like just under 600 degrees, but the Meter 2 is rated to just under 1100 degrees. That's why I did not use it in the highest position. I only used it in the lower position where the heat is less intense. That way it's not overdoing the thermometer. There's lots of thermometers out there you can use. There's wired thermometers. I just happen to like the Meter 2 because it's very convenient. It works with my phone. It's fast. There's no wires. It just makes things simple. All right, I just got my remove from heat notice. The first thing I'm going to do is drop these things down into the drip pan. I'm using a Meter grill mitt here. Great for these high temperatures. Take out the temperature probe. Go ahead and turn off the heat. Let's roll them around in there, get plenty of that fat soaked up. Not that these need it. That fat cap looks fantastic. And now that they've sat for a moment, go ahead and bring them out. I used a lot of fat on these things, so there was a lot of dripping going on, but you don't have to use nearly as much tallow as I did. I just used what I had left. So usually 1 or 2 tablespoons would be enough in the bottom. Let's go try these out. Cut into one of the bigger pieces to start with here. Cutting against the grain. Look at that. Nice and juicy on the center, crispy on the outside. Let's make a piece with this fat cap on it and give it a try. I'll tell you what, that is 2 thumbs up for me. I only got 1 thumb because I'm holding a fork, but man, wonderful. Picanha cooked on a grill, man, it's just fantastic. I can't stop eating it. Taking a closer look at one of the larger pieces on the inside. Look at that. Checking the smallest piece here, the one that was mostly fat. Let's try that out. And before I finish it off, I just wanted to see how it looked all sliced out. All I can say is wow. And I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
I'm gonna eat some more of this steak.